Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're looking at something that I think a lot of us think about pretty often, and that's our food budget. You know how much I love a good plan, especially when it comes to food. So we're diving into this awesome guide all about managing food finances. We're going to call this Meal Financial. How about that?
I like that.
Catchy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so the main goal here
Yeah.
is figuring out how to enjoy awesome food without spending a fortune.
Right. And it's not just about saving money. It's also about making really smart choices about the food we eat, getting the best nutritional value for our money, making sure that we're kind of taking care of our wallets and ourselves at the same time.
I like that. So this guide suggests that a good starting point is to allocate around 10 to 15% of our income for groceries.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it might seem like a lot at first, but when you really think about it, it's an investment in our health.
Totally.
You know, feeling good, having energy, that all comes from eating well.
Exactly. And something else that this guide recommends,
Yeah.
which I've actually been trying to do myself, is keeping your dining out budget separate from your grocery budget.
Yeah.
It's so easy to kind of lump it all together. But when you have them separate,
Yeah.
it really helps to see where your money's going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great way to kind of get a clearer picture of where your money's going each month. Because when you think about all the things that go into our spending, right? It's not just food. We have housing, we have transportation, we have entertainment, all these different categories. So understanding that big picture of our income and all of our expenses can really help us create a realistic and a sustainable food budget, one that actually fits our lifestyle.
Right, one that actually makes sense. Okay, so we've got our budget figured out. Now the guide really stresses the power of planning, specifically weekly meal planning.
Huh?
What do you think about that?
Oh, meal planning is crucial, absolutely. It's like having a roadmap for all of your meals, so you're not scrambling at the last minute, trying to figure out what to eat. You're not making those impulse purchases at the grocery store because you're hungry and you don't know what you need.
Exactly. It's like you've got a strategy going into the grocery store.
Exactly. It's all about being prepared.
And it helps so much with controlling those costs
Yeah.
and minimizing food waste, which we're going to talk more about later. But yeah, I've definitely noticed a difference since I've started meal planning more regularly.
Yeah. And a really great tip when it comes to meal planning is to focus on incorporating those affordable and versatile ingredients, things like rice and beans and pasta, all those wonderful vegetables.
Oh, yes, the veggies.
Right. You can do so much with them, and they really help stretch your budget.
They're so good for you.
Yeah.
And they can be used in so many different ways.
Exactly.
Okay, I have to admit something. I am a huge fan of batch cooking.
Oh, nice.
Like, I love having a freezer full of ready-to-go meals. It's such a lifesaver during busy weeks.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it saves so much time and money in the long run.
Okay, but what about those trips to the grocery store? I feel like that's where I can get into trouble. You know, you walk in there and suddenly everything looks good.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Those grocery stores are designed to tempt us.
Oh, they know what they're doing.
They really do.
But this guide actually talks a lot about the importance of a well-thought-out grocery list. It's like your shield against those impulse buys.
It really is. It's about being strategic.
Strategic shopping, I like that.
So before you even step foot in the store, you want to take inventory of what you already have. Check your pantry, check your fridge, check your freezer, see what you've got, and then plan your meals around those ingredients. That way you're not buying duplicates.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
And another helpful tip is to organize your list by the layout of your grocery store. So you're not going back and forth all over the place.
Oh, that's so smart. So you're like going down the aisles and getting everything you need in a really efficient way. Yeah, you're minimizing the time you spend wandering around and getting tempted by those impulse buys.
Exactly. I have to admit, I used to be an impulse buy champion.
Oh, we've all been there.
But honestly,
Yeah.
ever since I started using a list consistently, it's been a game changer.
Yeah, for me too.
I mean, sure, I still treat myself every now and then.
Right.
But those unplanned splurges definitely used to take a bigger bite out of my budget.
Yeah, it's amazing how much those little impulse buys can really add up over time.
Absolutely.
There's a whole psychology behind grocery shopping, right? They put the things they want us to buy at eye level. They have those tempting displays. They use all sorts of tricks.
The end caps.
Yes, the end caps. It's all designed to get us to spend more.
It's true. It's true. So having that list, it's like your secret weapon. It helps you stay focused
Yeah,
and resist those temptations.
exactly. Puts you back in control.
Yes, I love that. Okay, bring on the pro-level shopping tips. We're ready to save.
All right, let's do it.
So this guy talks a lot about buying in bulk, especially when it comes to those non-perishables, those pantry staples that last forever.
Yeah, that's a great way to save money, especially if you have the storage space.
Right, you have to have a place to put it all.
Exactly. And another great tip is to consider those store brands. A lot of times they're just as good as the name brands, but they're a fraction of the cost.
Yes, and sometimes I actually prefer the store brands.
Yeah.
It's true. All right, and of course we can't forget about those sales, discounts, and coupons.
Oh, yeah, that's where the real savings come in.
My absolute favorite.
There are so many resources available these days. Websites, apps, store flyers.
Even apps that give you cash back. I love those.
Yeah, like Ibotta.
Ibotta is my favorite.
You can earn money back on your groceries.
It's awesome. And of course, we have to mention the magic of seasonal shopping.
Oh, yeah.
Fresher produce, better prices.
Absolutely.
What's not to love?
It makes a big difference,
Yeah.
both for your wallet and for the flavor of your food.
So we've got our plan. We've shopped strategically. Now we're ready to eat, right?
Sounds good to me.
But before we get to the fun part, cooking, let's talk about minimizing food waste. This guide is all about using every ingredient wisely and making choices that are good for the planet.
Right. It's about getting the most value out of the food we buy and reducing our environmental impact.
Totally.
So storage is really important. Invest in some good airtight containers. Make sure you're refrigerating or freezing things promptly. That will help keep your food fresh longer.
Those airtight containers are key. Okay? And leftovers.
Sure.
Leftovers are a gift, right?
They really are.
You can repurpose them into new dishes.
It's like having a built-in meal prep system.
Exactly.
Get creative with it.
And don't underestimate the power of composting.
Oh, yeah. Composting is amazing if you have a garden. It's like giving your plants a gourmet meal.
I love that.
It's all natural fertilizer. And even if you don't have a garden, there might be community composting programs in your area that you can participate in.
That's a great idea.
It's a win-win. You're reducing waste and you're helping the environment.
Absolutely. I love that. All right, so we've got our budget. We've shopped smart. We're composting like pros. Now it's time to get cooking.
All right, let's head to the kitchen.
I am so excited about this part. So stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll be talking all about the joys of cooking at home and how to make it work for you. See you there.
See you there.
Okay, so we've got our budget, our meal plan, we've shopped like pros, and we're composting champions. Now it's time for my absolute favorite part, cooking. Now, I'm not talking about becoming a gourmet chef overnight. It's more about embracing the joy of making meals at home. Keeping it simple, keeping it fun.
Yeah, I think sometimes people get intimidated by cooking, but it doesn't have to be complicated.
Exactly.
It's one of the most budget-friendly ways to eat well.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to be a culinary whiz to do it.
No, not at all.
Start with simple recipes. Use those basic, versatile ingredients we talked about.
Right, like those pantry staples.
Yeah, rice, beans, pasta, all those veggies.
And there are so many resources out there for beginners. I mean, cookbooks, websites, apps, it's all right there at your fingertips.
Yeah, it's never been easier to learn how to cook.
And you know what? If I can do it, anyone can.
I believe you.
It's all about progress, not perfection, right?
That's a great mindset.
So ditch the takeout menus, embrace those culinary skills.
What I find interesting is that cooking at home can actually save you time in the long run.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree.
You're not driving to restaurants. You're not waiting for your order. You're not dealing with all those takeout containers.
And you have complete control over what goes into your food, which is so important.
Absolutely. You know exactly what ingredients you're using. You can adjust the seasoning to your liking.
You can make it as healthy as you want.
Exactly.
And let's not forget the satisfaction of creating something delicious with your own 2 hands.
It's a great feeling.
Plus, it's a fun way to try new recipes and cuisines.
Oh, yeah. Get adventurous in the kitchen.
Keep things interesting.
Explore different flavors.
Okay, so we're cooking up a storm, we're saving money, we're enjoying delicious food. But how do we make sure we stay on track with our budget?
That's where tracking comes in.
Right. This guide is a big advocate for tracking expenses.
It's so important. It helps you see exactly where your money is going.
It's like shining a spotlight on your habits, right?
Exactly. You can identify areas where you might be overspending and make adjustments as needed.
And there's some great apps out there that can help.
Yeah, like Mint or YNA. They can really simplify the process.
I love those apps. And don't throw away those receipts. They hold valuable clues about your spending patterns.
Oh, yeah, they're like little treasure maps.
Are you reaching for that pricey brand of coffee every week? Or maybe those harmless snack purchases are adding up more than you realized.
Exactly. Those receipts can reveal a lot.
It's all about awareness.
Yeah, and once you have that awareness, you can start making more conscious decisions.
So powerful. Okay, let's talk about nutrition. I feel like sometimes eating healthy can feel expensive.
I hear that a lot.
But you know what? This guide assures us that healthy eating doesn't have to break the bank.
No, it really doesn't.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's all about making smart choices. Choosing nutrient-rich foods that are packed with the good stuff your body needs.
So what kind of foods are we talking about?
Things like lean proteins, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats.
The good stuff.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily more expensive.
Right.
It's about prioritizing those foods over those processed foods that are often more costly and less nutritious.
And those processed foods, they don't keep you full as long either.
Right. They can lead to those energy crashes and cravings.
Exactly. So we're swapping out those processed snacks for those DIY snacks.
Yes. DIY snacks are a great way to save money.
Like making your own granola bars, trail mix.
And from just chopping up some fruits and veggies.
It's so much cheaper and healthier.
And it can be fun, too. Get the kids involved.
It's a win-win for your wallet and your well-being. Okay, so we've talked about budgets, planning, shopping, cooking, tracking nutrition. But life's not all about spreadsheets and meal prep, right?
No, of course not.
We've got holidays, special occasions, those moments where we just want to celebrate and indulge a little.
It's all about finding that balance.
Right. And this guide acknowledges that those special occasions can sometimes stretch the budget. But it offers some great tips for navigating those situations.
What are some of those tips?
Well, one thing they suggest is setting aside a small portion of your budget specifically for those special events.
That's a smart strategy.
It takes the pressure off. When you do want to splurge a little and enjoy yourself.
You don't feel guilty.
Exactly.
And potlucks are a fantastic way to celebrate while sharing the costs.
Oh, I love a good potluck.
It's a fun way to bring people together, try different dishes, create lasting memories.
Without overspending.
Exactly.
And if you're feeling creative, why not go for a DIY celebration?
I love that idea.
You can create a festive atmosphere, amazing food at home.
Without breaking the bank.
It's all about finding those creative solutions.
That allow you to enjoy life's special moments while still honoring your financial goals.
I love that. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, but this guide also emphasizes the importance of community resources. It's a reminder that we're not in this alone, and there's support available for those who might be facing challenges.
That's so important to remember.
What kind of community resources are we talking about?
Well, food banks are incredible resources for individuals and families who are struggling to put food on the table.
Absolutely.
They provide access to free or low-cost groceries, making sure that everyone has access to nutritious meals.
It's amazing what they do. And community gardens are another fantastic initiative.
Oh, yeah.
They provide a space for people to connect, learn about gardening, and grow their own fresh produce.
It's a great way to build community and access affordable, healthy food.
And it's so therapeutic to get your hands dirty
Right.
and connect with nature.
Absolutely.
And for those who qualify, there are government assistance programs like SNAPI.
That can provide crucial support.
For food expenses, it's so important to know that help is available. And utilizing those resources is nothing to be ashamed of.
Not at all. We've all been there at some point.
We all need a helping hand sometimes.
Exactly.
You know, it's really inspiring to see how communities come together like that to make sure everyone has access to good food.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot in this deep dive into meal financial, from budgeting and meal planning to smart shopping, reducing waste, the joy of cooking, tracking expenses, prioritizing nutrition, navigating those special occasions, and even tapping into those helpful community resources. Wow, that's a lot. But you know, it really all comes down to one key takeaway. You have the power to take control of your food and your finances and create a system that works for you, for your unique needs.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so empowering about this approach. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding what works best for your own circumstances, for your lifestyle, your goals.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're getting good food at good prices and making it all fit into your busy life. And you know, the best part is, it's not about deprivation. It's not about giving up the things you love. It's about making conscious choices so you can enjoy delicious, nutritious meals while keeping your budget happy.
Absolutely. I think it's a journey, not a race to the finish line. You can start small, experiment with different strategies, and adjust your approach as you learn and grow.
I love that. So are you ready to embark on this meal financial adventure? I know we've given you a ton of tips and strategies today, but here's something to consider as we wrap up. What's one change you could make in your food habits that would have the biggest impact on your budget and your overall well-being? I'll go first. I think for me, I'm committing to bringing my lunch to work more often. I've realized that those takeout lunches can really add up.
That's a great goal. I think it's those small, consistent changes that make a big difference over time. For someone else, it might be finally giving those store brands a try, or committing to meal planning just once a week. Every little step counts.
Absolutely. It's about choosing something manageable, something that fits into your life,
Yeah.
and setting yourself up for success on this meal financial journey.
Well, I know I've learned a lot today, and I'm excited to put these tips into action.
Me too. It's amazing how empowering it can be to take control of your food budget and create a system that supports both your financial and your health goals.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, happy and healthy eating, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.